Hi there, I'm Magaibo, playing EVE Online and sitting on the perimeter gate in Jita. I've done a few videos recently which have been tours of other areas, instruction videos, how to do certain things like fix your security status, and a ridiculous video about smart bombing as well. But I thought I'd go back to doing a video which was just me sitting on a gate, scanning at people that are going by, just to see how it goes. Give any hints and tips as things crop up. It is a Saturday, 1400 Eve time, and we've got an event going on at the moment, which is the Doctor Who event. So you're seeing an awful lot of people coming in with the fruits of their exploration on board. And it's quite an interesting point that when you get a new event, or a new item, such as skins that have just been released, then when you scan them, the value doesn't show up. It shows up as 0 on the cargo scan, because there hasn't really been a market price for these items established yet. But skins are always a shot in the dark. You can have what is in theory a very valuable skin, but it's only valuable if someone buys it. And I've had skins on the market that should have been worth over $1 billion for a month and no one's bought it. So yeah, they sit out and play the waiting game with them, or it could be something that you have to sell at a lower price, or it's up to yourself. So my setup today is, 2 thrashers, my looter in the Jaguar, my booster in the Gnosis, and as usual I've got an Okator sitting above me in case I need to scoop the loot. I have a couple of ships here which have jumped through and have just sat there. They haven't moved yet. I've no reason to believe that they're gonna do anything untoward, although I did have a ship the other day that did that and just sat around this spot and didn't move. And then the moment that something popped and I went for it, he made a beeline for it, tried to get there quite quickly. The advantage of me having a Jag here is that once I've picked up the loot and I go suspect, I can defend myself as well. A nice little setup here, which people obviously aren't aware of if they try and steal the loot. But the Jaguar has got, I think it's about 6 mid slots, 5 or 6, and it's got 2 scrams, 2 webs, micro warp drive fitted. So if anybody gets to the loot before me and tries to steal it, I can scram them, web them, they sit still while my other thrasher takes pot shots at it, and the Jaguar can fire some rockets into it as well. But also, if it's the case that my looter does get there first but then gets scrammed by someone else, I'm quite happy to use my other thrasher to take a shot at the ship that's scramming my Jaguar. And also my booster at that point has got 2 large remote reps on it, so if anyone starts causing damage on my Jaguar, then the booster can help out there. But at that point, the only thing that my looter would be interested in, if he was scrammed and was in serious danger of being blown up and had loot on board, at that point what I'd be doing is I would have walked the DST, the Okator, down to the gate, and then I would just be burning towards that, scooping the loot into the fleet hangar of the DST, and then my priority would be getting the DST out of there. And if I lose the Jaguar, then I lose the Jaguar. It's just something I've got to take into account. I had an interesting day yesterday where I got 3 kills in a short period of time. That just goes to show how this works. It isn't that you will regularly get a kill an hour. You don't. You could end up getting no kill for a few days and then getting 3 in a short space of time, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. And it was a good mix of loot that dropped as well. So the first kill was this ibis that dropped an awful lot of mutaplasmid stuff, but the big value was this trig survey database, which is about $500 million that dropped there. And this just goes to show how bad the in-game valuation is on the kill mails. It was about $500 million that I got for it, and yet it's shown as 95,000 disc. This is the second kill, which required no talent on my part whatsoever. This raptor, an interceptor, jumped through the gate, decloaked after his 30-second timer, and just sat there. Now, it took me a while to get my thrashers into position. I like to get the thrashers to 10 kilometers away before I fire. This guy was 16 kilometers away. So the amount of time it took me to get the thrashers into position must have been about another 12-15 seconds. Everything of value there, everything I wanted dropped. And even after I killed him and looted him, his pod was still sitting there for another few seconds. I did convo him afterwards to find out what had happened, but he didn't respond. This is the third kill that I got, which is unusual in a few ways. The valuation here says 569,000 disc, but if we go into the market, you can see that they sell for $1 billion. What's unusual about this? The chap jumped in and I scanned him, shot him, looted him, and he's part of Eve Uni. Now, Eve Uni, as I'm sure you already know, are an alliance that specialise in helping people that are new to the game. And in all the time that I've been doing this, I can't remember another time that I have seen an Eve Uni pilot flying with anything that I'd want to gank before. They're normally so disciplined. So this was really unusual to see an Eve Uni pilot end up on my kill board like that. I actually got a lot of respect for Eve Uni. When I was part of Stay Frosty around Uleta, Eve Uni were only a couple of jumps away in a Mignon. And they would often take runs, which is high sec, and they would often take runs through our low sec area in fleets, and we would occasionally just arrange to have fights with them. They're a good crowd. The pilot that I killed there ended up getting in touch and asking if he could have his stuff back, and I had to explain to him that that's not how it works. And he said that I think he was just over a month old and said he needed the money for ships. But I think I was maybe more than 2 years into the game before I had a billion ISK. You don't need a billion ISK to start off playing. I did send him 100 million as a sympathy payment to buy some frigates, but he sent it back. He didn't want it. This mammoth that's sitting back here is not a scammer as such. He's one of a number of pilots that sit around gates or stations with a kill right to be activated. So in his case, the kill right is 49 million, but he's flying a mammoth which costs about 2.5 million. So if you scan him, you can see that his cargo is 181,000, so it's less than 3 million to have that mammoth sitting there with that kill right, just waiting for someone to come along and activate it and pop him. And that's one way to make money in EVE Online. But really, he could put his client on, sit there and then go to work. So it would be money for nothing, but it's only 40 million, 45 million ISK profit, isn't it? One of the questions I had on the video I did about ganking in Dodixie was, have I ever tried Amar? And I wasn't able to go to Amar for a long time because the missions that I ran a long time ago had left me with a bad standings with Amar. But what I'd forgotten was I'd run some missions last year that allowed me to fix my status with Amar, and I did actually do that. This morning I took a run through to Amar. It's 11 jumps from Jita with one jump through low sec. There's nobody active there ganking. And I took a look around Amar. Quite an unusual station compared to Dodixie or Jita. So I think I will do a video about it. I'll try it out. Also, as a result of the video, I got somebody sending me a message in game asking if they could hire me to attack another corp. I've had that a few times. Not that kind of ganker. I was very briefly part of a set of mercenaries called Noir, but I think I only did 1 or 2 runs with them. It's certainly an experience. You get paid for going into another part of New Eden and doing what you're hired to do, which is to annoy other pilots. I've had to take a break there because I was having some problems with OBS not restarting. I think it's becoming a bit much for my laptop to run 4 clients and OBS at the same time. 5,000 nanite repair paste in a Reaper. 108 mil. I mean, that's just crazy. Now, one of the things that you might not know about is that if a ganker ganks you, or anybody in high sec aggresses you, you get something called a kill right over them. And what that does is it gives you the power to turn them suspect for 15 minutes. And during that time, you or anyone else can kill them. You can shoot them. The moment you start shooting them, they're allowed to shoot back. But what you can do with that kill right is assign it to somebody else. You can make it public, or you can just keep it for yourself. And if you assign it to somebody else or make it public, then you can put a price on that as well. So for example, if I was to shoot Annie Strongheart here, Annie would get a kill right over me. She could elect to make that kill right public for 10 million ISK. And what that means is that if I was sitting here with a kill right on it, somebody could select me. So I'll select here. If you had a kill right, I would get the option up here in the selected items box once I had him selected to pay the 10 million and activate that kill right. It could be that the kill right is free, but you would still activate it the same way. You would choose it up in the selected items screen. So if any of these videos that I've made has encouraged you to take up ganking, if you've given it a try in the last month or so, then let me know how it went. If you've got any kills on Zkill, please post a link to them so I can see what it is that you guys have been up to. And of course, if you get any kills as a result of the information that you've picked up in these videos, it is a 20% Magaibo tax. So this is something that happens occasionally in Eve, is that normally if you want to rotate around your ship, you would hold down the left button and then move up and down. But if everything moves like that, that's not right. And the way to fix this is just to click on the tactical camera button and it will restore you back to your normal place, and then you can rotate again. Well, I hope that some of these tips have been useful to you. Please subscribe to the channel. You'll get updates straight away of new videos. and like the video as well if you like the video. If you didn't like the video, there's a thumbs down button, I think. Is that still on YouTube? Yeah, it is. So if you don't like the video, please put a thumbs down as well. I would prefer the thumbs up. Either way, subscribe. If you hated the video, please subscribe, because I really don't like it when people subscribe. You would be causing me a great deal of discomfort. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.